Howdy ho neighbors, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to hopefully be able to give you guys a little insight as to something. This is like hopefully a helpful video to give you some insight on information that might or maybe not help you guys to make a proper decision on something you want to get into if you want to get into crawling with the RCs. Now, that being said, the topic of today is simplicity. Me personally, when it comes to a trail rig, the simpler the better. The more simpler, the better it's going to perform, the less stuff's going to break on you, the less stuff you have to replace when it breaks. So, that's what I'm going to go over with you today. I did have in the past some TRX4 Bronco with a 2-speed trans and unlocking diffs. And I had 2 of them actually. And don't get me wrong, they're great trucks. Great rigs, they still perform great. But for the price point, if you're looking to get into this stuff and you want something that's going to be more reasonably priced for a crawler, because a 110 scale crawlers aren't professional, like hobby grade ones aren't exactly the cheapest things on the planet. Granted, the entry or good starter ones that I'm going to show you and give you as to options today for are probably a better route for you guys and gals who might want to get into the hobby. Therefore, we're going to start off today with these 2 I have in front of me, which is a Traxxas TRX4 Sport, fully locked differentials from the factory, 1-speed transmission, just pull your trigger and go. Basic, bare bones, simple. It works. I've had this TRX4 since 2007. I bought it brand new when it very first came out, 5 or so years ago, whatever it was. The next one we're going to talk about is a Red Cat Gen 8 version 2. Now, these 2 trucks, my personal 2 trucks here in front of me, are 2 completely different rigs, completely different setups. They're both still the TRX4 is completely bone stock, like completely stock, other than the body I had put on it, which you will see shortly, and the 1.9 Pro lines. I have Pro lines on it. Pro line B.F. Goodrich crawler tires mounted on plastic Red Cat Gen 8 B-lock wheels. But I'll get more into that one in a second here. The other rig, the Gen 8, is a completely scratch from the frame and portal axle up build. I bought it as a scratch. I bought it with basically a frame with the portal axles attached, and I think the motor was in it. As of right now, that thing's got a complete change up for the most part. But everything I did to it, I've sourced the parts through either Amazon or A-Main Hobbies and got stuff at a good parts at a pretty reasonable price or cheaper price that was a good quality still. And I did that purposely to build it on more or less a budget to keep it relatively cost efficient and effective and still be able to get out there and have fun, but still basic enough to where I got only what I need and nothing that I don't. Don't get me wrong, lockers that you could unlock and lock and 2-speed transmission is nice. But for a crawler you're taking out on the trail, the only thing you're ever really going to use is probably the lockers. You don't need 2 speeds when you're on the trail, because when you're going down the trail crawling over all your obstacles and crazy lines, 99% of the time you're going slow. You're crawling, which is why they're called crawlers. They're made to be slow. You want to go fast, you buy a basher. Sorry, not sorry. Basic facts. Anyway, I'm going to turn my camera around now and show you guys the two and gals, the two trucks, and talk about them both, and just to give you guys a little bit of a option there, so maybe one might be more what you're looking to get or what you like more, and or the other one. And I'll give you price points and as well as rough price estimating parts that I so far invested into the two. So here we go, let's get started. Alright, we're starting off here with the good old tried and true 5 or so year old Traxxas TRX4 Sport. This thing since 2017 when I bought it new to now, it's had multiple different bodies on it. I've changed it up every once in a while, whatever. But tried and true to the day, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know, I'm trying to word that there. But anyway, this thing, the only thing I've ever changed on it was either bodies and wheels and tires. As of right now, and the old original motor, which is the original motor here, this is not it. This is an RC 4-wheel drive 45 turn crawler motor. 540 can size, or maybe a 550, I don't remember on the can size, but it's it is a 45 turn. It's still this here. I hear a lot of people cry and complain or whatever you want to call it, share their opinions, whatever you want to call it, on Traxxas electronics. Yes, to an extent, Traxxas electronics are not that great. However, when you take care of your trucks, they will last. This ESC is the original ESC in this crawler from 2017 when I first bought it. The very, very first. I've never, ever changed this ESC, and it's been perfectly fine. I have put a second Traxxas motor in it once the original motor burnt out. This is the third motor in it. The second one that I put in, the Traxxas, still works great. I put the 45 turn in only because I wanted to try it for extra torque. I still have the Traxxas motor up there in my drawer. I could put it back in and it'll still work fine. Other than this RC 4-wheel drive 45 turn motor, brushed motor in the ESC, or the stock ESC, but other than that motor, the wheels and tires are the only thing that are not Traxxas. The tires are 1.9 Proline B.H. Goodrich crawler tires in the Predator compound. They're super sticky, soft, and squishy and nice. These things bite the rocks so well. And having a B-lock, even though it's a plastic B-lock, having a B-lock wheel on your crawlers helps big time when wanting to try out new different tire compounds or even different tire treads or whatever you might want to go with from there. Personally, The stock, and here are the stock. Here's what the stock Traxxas TRX4 Sport come with. 1.9 trail canyons, and those are the exact stock wheels you'd get on a stock, bone stock Traxxas TRX4 Sport. These are brand new. I haven't really used them maybe but once in front of my house. But those tires and wheels still perform very well for a stock wheel and tire. It's still a good compound, but I wanted to try a little upgrade, and I bought these. The motor, cost-wise now, let's get into that. A TRX4 Sport, brand new, goes for around, I think, last time I checked, a stock TRX4 Sport brand new goes for around, I think, 360 or around 360 or 370, $360 before taxes. Box stock, they're a great truck. There's always room for improvement on any RC you buy. I'm not going to tell you they're the best thing in the world stock, because everybody's got their own likes and stuff they want to do or plans. Even this here, getting back to other stuff, I recently bought for this, which will be going in shortly, a 35 kilogram high torque, high power, waterproof steering servo. And the only reason I'm going to be putting that in there is eventually that's getting 2.2 tires. These are 1.9s. Those are 2.2s. 1.9s. 2.2s. 1.9s. Okay. But yes, getting back to the price point. For stock, bone stock, not a bad deal at $360, $370 or whatever before taxes. This one I have, like I said, the RC four-wheel drive motor, which I think was about 30, maybe 25, 30, 40 bucks at the most. The tires are going to be probably the most expensive part. For these set of 1.9s, BF Goodrich Trail Canyons, I think I got about 60, 70, or maybe 80 tops into these tires alone. But they come with good foams from the factory. Stock foams that come with these BF Goodrich tires are great. You can get a set of these Red Cat B-Locks cheap because they're everywhere. And usually Red Cat stuff is pretty cheap and affordable, just as well as the stock replacement parts for the TRX4, and even some aftermarket stuff as well. But that's that. There's your rundown on the TRX4 Sport. We have stock, bone stock, $360, $370 for stock TRX4 Sport. Roughly 60 to 80 into tires. Probably about 30 or 40 into wheels. The Red Cat wheels. And another 20 to 30 into the brushed 45 turn motor. Otherwise, that's it. Not a bad price point. And even on a bone stock one without any of this stuff will still get you down the trail and have a lot of fun. Now, when you want to go a little bit more crazy, you can do something like this, or even a stock, a bone stock price point. We're going to start price point here. A bone stock Red Cat Gen 8 version 2 sells for, I believe last time I checked, $300, somewhere around there. Box stock, it looks absolutely nothing like this one does. I bought this one as a, like I said earlier, a used frame. I have Duratrax Deepwoods 2.2 tires, These tires are massive. These tires are 5.5 inches tall. The circumference, or the up and down, whatever you want, however you want to call it. Anyway, you could get on Amazon, or I think even on eBay. I mean, eBay, or even A-Man Hobbies, a set of 2 of those Duratrax Deepwoods 2.2s. You can expect to pay about $35 to $40 for 2. I got 4, so round it out. Let's say 40 to be safe. You're looking at $80 in tires. The wheels here are Red Cat Everest 10 wheels. They are 2.2 size plastic beadlock wheels. I've had a lot of good luck with these on the cheap, because again, I'm not ashamed or even afraid by any means at all to be working on a budget. And these 2 budget built RC crawlers have hung out there on the trail and crawled with $800-900 trucks, and they've also crawled with other $300 trucks, and they've done perfectly fine and kept up. But a stock Gen 8 300. This one I bought as a frame with axles. I currently have the factory Red Cat 550 can motor. I believe for the Gen 2's the Gen 8 version 2, these stock Red Cat motors that are in them are a 550. They're definitely 550 can size. I believe they're 17 turn. But Red Cat replacement parts are cheap. They're very affordable. Red Cats in general are affordable. I have Desert Lizard shocks. I bought the shocks used. I'm running them in about, I don't know if it's 3/4 or full. I think it's 3/4 droop. They're 90mm shocks. I bought them used for around, I think, $40 or $50, something like that. You can get them new as well. I think they're a little bit more if you get them new. I recently put this in this morning. I went to Amazon. I bought another one of these servos. I bought 2 because one's in here, went in here, and the other's going in this one. That was, I think, $35 or something like that, around $35-40 for that servo. So you're looking at about, if you can buy the shocks used from a friend, you're looking at about $40. Otherwise, I think they're probably around, I don't know 100%. Don't quote me on this. I think brand new, the Desert Lizard shocks are around like $50 to $60, I think, dollars for a set. I don't know. I didn't buy them new. I bought them used. I don't know. But that's for the shocks. Again, expect to pay on Amazon around $80 for the set of 4 of these 2.2s. Again, however, you don't have to go that big to 2.2s. You can do simply perfectly fine on a 1.9 and still go down the trail and call good. But regardless, the 2 best tires, hands down, right there, that I've ever used: Duratrax Deepwoods Proline Be a Goodrich Crawler tires. And there's one other which I don't have right here to show you, which is the RC 4-wheel drive Mudslinger XL, or even non-XL, 1.9, 2.2, whatever. Those 3 tires are hands down the best 3 tires I've ever used so far. But getting back to this, and I actually just ordered a set of those tires, those RC 4-wheel drive Mudslingers. They were going to be going on the other set of these Everest 10 wheels that I just painted up to go on the Bigfoot. Then those are going to go on TRX4. Now, again, It's basically simple. Simplicity, simplicity. No extra lockers, this, that, and the other thing to disconnect in there, and servos for that. No 2-speed transmissions. Simple. And this was taken down to even another, this taken up further to another level. This TRX4 still bone stock, has the factory trays here on the side for your electronics. This frame, I didn't want to do that because I wanted to keep everything in a general area and simplify things. I wanted to keep this because I wanted to keep this relatively low center of gravity, and I wanted to widen out the stance. Widen it out. This has also hot racing 15mm hub spacers that you could probably not see because they're in there. There they are. They're in there. They're metal hot racing 15mm hub spacers, which push the wheel out 15mm. Another upgrade I've done on this, I have Club 5 Racing heavy duty steel steering links. Because with this thing, and as well, I have the, as you can see, the metal inner and outer portals. My goal for this thing, I could have left this, I could have built this as stock. But being that I had already a bone stock Traxxas, I wanted to build something that was a little more upgraded and beefy, but still on a budget-friendly aspect, to where it'll still crawl hands and down level with this thing, and this thing will still crawl hands down level with that thing. But this thing here, with the mods that I've done to it so far, it is hands down one of my favorite crawlers. Honestly, it performs, this, how it's set up now, performs better than that. Which you would expect because it's stock. Only thing is this has is tires and a motor. This has tires, suspension, stock motor and ESC, but upgraded servo, upgraded links, and weight in the front wheels. And everything's set counterbalanced right with either the center or the front for weight. This thing will climb up some of the craziest inclines and obstacles I've ever thrown at it, at any of my RCs, and it just takes it. It does what it does, and it goes. I'm very happy with this thing. So I guess I think that's pretty much it from that that aspect. I hope that helps you guys out. Also, there's something else I just forgot in here, which I'll flip this over to show you. This has, I did not put them on, it came with it, steel front and rear differential covers. The factory ones are plastic. These being upgraded to the metal, they're going to be stronger. All the stuff I did to this rig in general, I did in the name of making it not only stronger, but also to add the weight and strength where it needed to be in general. Like the weight on the brass front portals, so it keeps the weight down. So when I'm climbing something steep, that weight is holding that front end down so that the sticky, soft compound tires just grip into everything. It rocks and whatever, and it pulls it right up. Now, as it sits now, the Gen 8 has more money invested into it than the TRX4 Sport. But the nice thing about building something like this, getting a frame with portal axles and then throwing your own electronics in it, or buying it just a bare scratch frame and even throwing your own axles under it, whatever you want to do, there is ways around certain things to where you're going about it to you could still make it perform good and work strong, be strong and work good without spending too much money. And then there's ways of doing it where you're going to spend a lot of money. Regardless, you're going to put a lot more money into it than buying a new one. Down the as far the farther in you get into it, but you can personalize it the way you want it built, the way you know you're going to want this thing to perform. You can do the same with the TRX4, which is where I'm at right now. It's still stock, other than the motors, other than the brushed motor and the tires and wheels. But now I'm going to be upgrading that stock servo for this 35 turn so I could get my bigger tires on there. Anytime you upgrade something, you got to upgrade. You got to really look at what goes into upgrading it, because obviously right now these stock links on this TRX4 are pretty thin. They're probably not going to hold up too well. And eventually I'm going to want to put some brass portal parts on this, if not whole full axles. But that's what's the beauty of this sport, of this hobby, I should say. You can put into this what you want out of it. You want something that's completely bone stock, just go out, have fun here and there, and not go on it, not do too much crazy stuff. And you don't want to beat it, because you're not going to beat it up too much or whatever. Or you're not going to try too much of the crazy obstacles or whatever. However, you just want to have fun with it. A bone stock truck is fine. You want to build a truck, you can go that route. Build it to the moon, or just build it to how it suits you. You want to build it on a budget. All well and better. All well and good, all well and better. That's what I did. I love it. I love how it performs. It does so good. I'm very happy. This thing, bone stock, even with the 21 turn stock Traxxas brushed motor it came with, did great. Even on the stock motor and stock tires. But it's all how you want to go about it, man. I tell you. At the end of the day, you got to think of what you're really trying to do. Both of these trucks are great trail trucks. Bone stock, or even the way to where they're at now, how they're set up now. Even upgrading them, you could only make them better from there. My thing is, only upgrade it once you break something, because then you know what you broke. When you find out what you broke, you know, okay, this wasn't strong enough for that. Let me upgrade that, but this connects to that, or this is probably better if I upgrade it for something stronger, like a brass part or aluminum, instead of buying another stock Traxxas part that's plastic, or the stock Red Cat part that's plastic. Just personalize it and make it your own. I mean, look at this. Look at this. How cool is that? When you personalize your truck, you're making it your own. Whether you're a Ford guy, you're a Chevy guy, you're a Dodge guy. Although it's a Jeep. Jeep is now Mopar. Get over it. You make it your own, and it's the coolest thing in the world. And that's all that matters. If you like it, you're happy with it, go for it. The sky's the limit. Just make sure you stick with what you want to do. If you want to stick on a budget, you stick with that budget. It's so easy to throw money at these things and get these things up there in price. I haven't sat down and tallied what I really have into this Red Cat just yet. For what I have into it, I probably could have. It's probably going to be, if I had to guess, probably a little bit more than what's into a stock. What you could get a stock one for. But that's going to perform better than a stock one. Not that the stock trucks, again, don't perform well, because they do. A stock TRX4 Sport, a stock Red Cat Gen 8 perform great. Because they're basic, simple, nothing you don't need and everything you do. Crawlers. They do good on rocks. They do good on the trails. And they're just fun all around. Again, they're not the fastest things in the world because they're not supposed to be. But they're dang cool, man. And I tell you, how could you just look at that? How could you not like that? But I hope this video helped. Hopefully gave you some insight to maybe what you might be wanting to do if you're looking to get into the crawler thing. Because you can't go wrong. If you're on a budget, you have $300, $400 max to spend. The TRX4 Sport, the Red Cat Gen 8 is pretty much your go-to choices. Either or, you can't go wrong. Like I said, factory replacement parts are affordable and cheap if you break or you need to get anything new. Aftermarket stuff is cheap and affordable. Or not badly priced. These bodies. Jade Concepts, Ford F-Series body, Proline Chevy truck body. They're already a lot cooler than the factory bodies that come with these things, other than a Red Cat Gen 2 body. I mean, a Red Cat Gen 8 version 2 body, which is a very nice looking body, but it's very top heavy. This thing, being the Red Cat Gen 8 version 2, not having the top heavy body, but I had to raise the body post up a little for that body specifically because of the 2.2s. Till I get taller shocks, I am going to want to upgrade those from 90 to maybe 110 millimeter shocks or 120 millimeter shocks, so I could raise the body down to the posts, or I might just leave it like that. It performs so great. But make them your own, enjoy them, love RCs, go RCing, have fun. Peace out.